It has been 2 months. Where have you been? What have you been doing? Well, I can tell you a few things I have not been doing that would include writing my name, buttoning my pants, and tying my shoes. All of those things still require the assistance of my wife or someone else. But things are getting better. Well, I did take a fall a couple of days ago, too. So that was at my kid's school. So let me start telling you about that first. They had the parent teacher conference as school starting back, and everybody at my twin school knows about it. They've been very supportive. They know about my procedure and everything. And they've been praying for me, and so I pull up and I use the handicap spot in front of the school, and the principal and his wife see me. They come out, they start talking to me and things, and they help me get a couple of things out of the car, and we start walking to the classroom, and the sidewalk. There's an important life lesson in here. You know, the sidewalk cuts like 90 degrees, so I tried to cut the corner of the sidewalk. Never cut corners in life; it don't turn out well for you. And so, as I tried to cut the corner, my right foot went into the landscaping and the rocks of the landscaping, which is about 2 or 3 inches below the sidewalk where my left foot was. And my ankle kind of rolled, and man, I hit the ground like a sack of potatoes. And it scared me. I had an adrenaline dump. You know, my adrenaline was pumping. And I kind of stayed there on my hands and my knees for a few seconds to try to see if I was hurting or if I felt a loose screw or something in my back or neck or anything like that. And I didn't. And the principal was very wise in how he reacted. He did not just reach down and grab me. He looked at me and he said, "What do I need to do?" And whereas some people may just reach down and try to grab you and start jerking you up and things like that. And I said, well, just let me get my legs underneath me. And I got my legs underneath me. I tried to get up. I couldn't get up. So I said, I'm going to need some help up. I said, you just hey, lift me underneath my arm. And another gentleman came over, and he got my other side. They both lifted me up underneath my arms. And we continued walking after that. And he didn't say anything for a few seconds, and then he kind of looked over and he said, I bet that was scary. I think it was scary for both of us. But so I was fine. The next day, my neck was kind of a little stiff and some mild discomfort, but nothing bad. I mean, I'm okay now. I'm fine. The thing is, I knew it was going to happen eventually. I knew I was going to fall. I know I'm going to trip, and I know I'm going to do it again. So I had a follow-up with my surgeon last week, and I just kind of asked him. I said, you know, when I was here before, a couple of months ago, I was still trying to process everything. So what kind of, things do I need to be cautious about in the future? And what happens if I fall and things like that? So I would just ask him these things, and he had told me then if something happens, if you're doing something, or if you fall and you have pain, then you need to go get checked out. But if you don't have that constant pain, then you're probably okay. So I knew I was okay after I didn't have the constant pain after the falling. Now, for the right hand and the therapy, my right hand is progressing. It's getting stronger. Take a look. Okay. I couldn't move my fingers or anything a couple of months ago. I could slightly move my index finger like that, which is what it's doing. And now I can isolate that finger, move that one. I can move my middle finger. Still can't flip anybody a bird yet, but I can make a fist. And so it's starting, my thumb can touch my index finger. So my pinky will kind of go along for the ride there. So we tested the grip strength in my right hand, and although it moves and it looks like it's moving good, it is starting to move. there's still no grip strength in there. So when I grab the device to squeeze it, it will barely move the needle, but it won't register even 1 pound. However, with that moving and my fingers moving, I can continue to strengthen those. And we do that through several different ways. Um, we use the e-stim machine, the electrical stimulation machine that we'll put on my arm. I have a picture of it that you can see right here. And I have the like little buttons that I'll take, and I'll sit in the chair or whatever, and have like a little table thing that I put in my lap, and I'll dump them out, and I'll put the buttons in a cup, and so I work on those things. They also said it's very important to work your shoulder and arm muscles because they come down, they come back in that order, like larger muscles and going down. So I'll do the shoulder exercises with a weight, like that, with holding a dumbbell. And then I'll go at a 45-degree angle, and then I'll go all the way out. And it's just a 3-pound dumbbell. But hey, when I was in inpatient therapy, I couldn't even hold a dumbbell. I had to use the ankle weights and put them around my wrist. So I'm making progress. And my left hand, when I started at Empower Therapy, it was at 1 pound of strength. We tested it last week, 65 pounds. So it's gotten a lot stronger. The average is about 55 pounds, 55 to 60 pounds. So it's pretty much back. The only thing is my thumb on my left hand is a little weak. So if I have to do something 2 or 3 times, it fatigues really quickly. But there's some exercises that I do to strengthen that as well. And then on the mental battle of it, that's constant. I mean, it's constant, and it probably always will be in one way or another. Because you can start out the day great, and then you can go to do something or try to do something that you ordinarily or before would have been able to do, and you can't do it, and it's very frustrating. And you have to turn the channel on those thoughts. As my therapist said, I went to see a therapist, and it helped me, and he told me those things. And so things, as an example, I can try to button a shirt and realize real quick that that's something I can't do, and that bothers me, or button my pants, my shorts, and I can't do that. And so I have to ask my wife to help me with those things. I can't write my name. She has to sign the checks, write the checks, can't tie shoelaces or any of those things. And like the therapist said, not being able to do those things don't make you any less of a man or less of a father or a husband or anything. But he said you just got to turn the channel on those things and be thankful for what you can do and focus on getting better, and think about where you were a few months ago and where you are now. I remember when I came home and I didn't even want to take a shower because it was so painful. And that was sitting in a shower chair in the shower, and it was just so painful. And when I got out, I had to lay down for 30 or 40 minutes. Now, when I wake up in the morning, I'll take a shower and put my clothes on. They may be gym clothes without buttons, but I'll throw my clothes on and, put lotion on and all these things I couldn't do before, and I'll leave my wife in the bed. And so I'm trying to get back into those routines and my old routines, going by the office for a little bit and going and checking the jobs and driving myself. And although it's more calculated now, because if I'm out driving and I want to get something to eat, I have to go through a drive-through or something, or a curbside where they bring the food to you, and I have to be careful what I order because I still can't cut my food. So however, I can still drive myself to the restaurant, order my food, pay for it, and eat. So I have to be careful and not let myself just sit around and think about all the bad things that I can't do when there's so many things that I can do. And I also have to remember there's so many more people that are so much worse off than me. It's like when I was at the Shepherd Center in 1997 with my first spinal cord injury, I would see people that had to blow into a straw to move their wheelchair. And it's that, those people would be grateful if they just lost the use of one hand. I mean, they couldn't scratch their face if it itched. And so I can't just go around having my own pity party. I am getting better. We are 6 months after surgery now. And so it'll be interesting to see what the next 6 months look like. So I'm really just trying to focus on the physical therapy, the occupational therapy, and trying to use my right hand even though it don't work as good as my left hand, because if you don't use it, you lose it. And if I continue to use it even though it's not as good, then it'll continue to build that strength up too. So, but I just want to give you guys an update, let you know what's going on, show you how my right fingers are starting to come back. And I have people asking me all the time, hey, I hadn't heard from you in a while, or I'll get an email and get messages and things. So I just want to let everybody know what's going on with me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody reaching out to me, and I'm just going to continue to do the best that I can. And thank you for checking this video out, and we'll talk to you soon.